How to make real estate a side hustle. Are you ready to turn your side hustle into a real business? I used to do real estate on the side. It was my side hustle, but now I'm a real estate multimillionaire. But I started from the bottom, I worked my way up, I learned a lot of secrets, and I'm gonna share with you how you can do it too. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, all you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm gonna share with you an easy step-by-step process on how to turn your real estate side hustle into a real business. I'm gonna share with you 3 fast ways that you can speed up your success. And I'm gonna share with you my biggest secret on how you can make at least $10,000 per month with this side hustle. So there are so many advantages to real estate and why you would wanna make real estate your side hustle. As you know, real estate is the #1 way to wealth. In fact, more than 89% of all millionaires were created so through real estate. And one of the things that I learned is you don't need to be a millionaire to get into real estate. Real estate actually creates millionaires. It's not the other way around. Real estate creates millionaires. You do not have to be a millionaire to get into real estate because real estate has so many advantages like passive income and cash flow. Literally, once you have a property, a real estate property, you can make money on it. You can have long-term tenants, short-term tenants, Airbnb. You can buy and hold it, wait till the value goes up, or you can buy and sell properties and make profits along the way. Real estate is great because of appreciation. Just by holding real estate for a few years, you're gonna end up having equity in that property because in most cases, real estate goes up in value over time. You don't even necessarily have to do anything to make the property go up. But another great thing about real estate and why I was able to make it a side hustle is because it has a concept called forced appreciation, wherein you can renovate a property. You can literally add or fix it up and make the property worth more. Forced appreciation. Another concept that exists only in real estate is leveraged appreciation. You can't do this with stocks. In other words, you can borrow money on a property. Think about this. In most cases, you have a mortgage, but you can have it where someone else is paying down that mortgage, a tenant or a guest, for example, yet you still get that appreciation. That property will still be going up in value. So while the mortgage is being paid down by someone else, the property is going up in value, and that is leveraged appreciation. It's an amazing concept that creates millionaires. So let me tell you how you turn this side hustle into the millionaire business it should be. Step 1, you gotta start with property problems. One of the first things that I learned about real estate is that you have to buy it for lower than it's worth. You don't want to be investing in real estate and paying market value. In other words, you want to find people that are having an issue with the property. For example, someone that's in foreclosure, bankruptcy, or divorce. This way you can get the property for pennies on the dollar. And you have the property and immediately you have equity when you get it. And it's nowhere near as difficult as you think to find people with these issues. Let me share something with you. I started investing in real estate in 2001, 2002. I had a full-time job and I was flipping houses on the side. And I ended up losing everything because I had no idea what I was doing. I had never actually invested or learned about real estate. I just started doing it while I had a job. Well, in 2008, when the market crashed, I lost everything, and by 2009, 2010, I was living in my parents' basement. I was bankrupt, I was broke, no money, no job, and I had terrible credit. But this is when I started investing in real estate. This is when real estate became my true side hustle. I started going to conferences and seminars and learning about real estate. And at one of those seminars, I met a coach that taught me about wholesaling and taught me about finding people with property problems. He taught me how to put out bandit signs, send out letters, and find people that were behind on their mortgage payments, get them under contract, and then flip those contracts for lots of money. It's a concept called wholesaling. And more importantly, I have an entire video and playlist teaching you this. Check it out on YouTube if you want to learn all about how to do that step by step. But the bottom line is, if you start with property problems, you will start with properties that you have equity in. Most of the time, the people are losing the property and it's going back to the bank or it's getting foreclosed on. So you can get those properties for pennies on the dollars, and all of the equity that that person was gonna lose, it now comes to you instead of going to the bank. Even if they have $30,000 or $40,000 worth of equity, that comes to you. And so now you have a portfolio of properties that have equity in them. This increases your net worth. It's crazy. Let me keep going. By starting with people with property problems, it's really easy to find people that want to give you their properties. However, in many cases, they have a mortgage on them. So let me tell you how I did this with my side hustle. People would have a mortgage on their properties and they would be behind on it, maybe 3 months. Let me give you a quick example. Someone has a mortgage payment and it's $1,500 per month. They're 3 months behind and they haven't paid all of the fees. In order to stop the foreclosure, it may cost like $5,000 or $5,500 to stop the foreclosure. Well, you can literally get them to give you that property for the past due mortgage payments, because guess what? They're about to be foreclosed on anyway. So, in many cases, I was able to negotiate with the seller who was losing their property and get that property for just the past due mortgage payments, and then I would agree to take over the mortgage payments for them. You would probably think people aren't going to go for that, but they would. Think about it. They're about to lose the property anyway and have a foreclosure on their credit. Why not get somebody like me, an investor, to take over those payments for them? So many benefits to that. The second thing is how I would get the money is through business credit. I know you were thinking, well, Noel, of course I could get lots of properties if I can just go get $5,000 and $10,000 for other people's properties. Well, yeah, you can, and you can even use business credit and business funds to do it. Literally, I would have a business credit line for $50,000 and I could easily scoop up 5, 10, 15 properties with that line of credit just by getting with sellers that were having property problems and not able to pay their mortgage. It was a simple thing to do, and again, it didn't even cost me any of my own money. I literally could just use my business credit, use that money, and get those properties, and then I could sell them or put tenants in them, whatever I wanted to do. Simple and easy. Whoa, did you just hear that point that I made? Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click that little notification bell so you do not miss all of this content that I'm bringing to you nearly every single day. Smash that button so I can keep making these videos for you. Okay, now back to this video. So another amazing thing with business credit is you can easily get set up with PayPal, Square, Stripe, or QuickBooks, and they will literally lend you money for your business. It's very easy to set up, and they will lend to you even if you're a startup. Literally, those smaller companies like PayPal, Stripe, Square, QuickBooks, and some of the other merchant processing companies will literally lend you just $10,000 or $20,000 after only being in business a few months. It's incredible what's available for you if you're a business. Step 3, start with one property. As I mentioned before, you can easily get business credit and use this to acquire properties. Again, you do not have to buy a property to make money on it. You can do what I said. You can find people that are having a property problem, get that property under contract, and then flip that contract to another investor for a fee. This is called wholesaling. And again, I have an entire video teaching you wholesaling if you want to watch that entire video that explains it to you step by step and even gives you the paperwork for it. But again, this is a very easy process and something that you can do even as a side hustle. Another option, if you don't want to get rid of the properties and you really want to acquire and start your portfolio, is you can start lease purchases. So you can use your business funds, you take that business credit and those funding that they gave you, and you can lease purchase properties and start making money on it. Think about this, for example. I literally was able to get 5 apartments that I rented in a luxury apartment complex with one of my students, and we were making $1,000 to $1,500 per month per property. And we did not own those properties. We leased them. Again, you can use your business credit for the security deposits. You can use it for the furniture to get those properties ready. It's really simple to use your business credit and your business funds to get your business started and start making money off of your real estate and build a portfolio that increases your net worth all at the same time. Step 4, put your profits into a business checking account. One of the most important things that you can do in your business is have a business checking account. If you don't have one, check out the link below that I have to North One Bank. They're an online bank designed for entrepreneurs, especially startups. So if you don't have a business checking account, use my North One link below to get your business checking account set up in less than 3 minutes. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity, and you need a business checking account, whether you do this as a side hustle or not. North One can help you out, and a business checking account can take you so far. Don't miss out on this. Once you have your business checking account, you will notice that you can easily get business credit cards. A lot of the times when you open a business checking account, the bank that you open it with, whether it's North One or another bank, they often will offer you a business credit card. Not in your personal name, it's in your business's name, and it won't report on your personal credit report unless you default. So it's a great opportunity to get started and get funds in your business name, because the faster you get money for your business, the faster you can grow your business. So get that business business checking account, and more importantly, get that business credit card so that you can turn that side hustle into a real business. You need money to do that, and they're willing to give it to you if you're a business. I've created an entire training on real estate where I teach you how I invest in real estate with no money and make a big profit. Go to noellsfreetraining.com and learn exactly how to do this step by step. It's an amazing training that I made just for you, but it was too much to put on YouTube, but it's full of information and you can really do it. And again, it's absolutely free. That's noellsfreetraining.com. Noelle, Noelle with an S, noellsfreetraining.com. I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.